Hello, I'm Farah and welcome to Haiti Journal. Haiti Journal is a monthly public affairs program covering current issues facing the Haitian American community in the U.S. and abroad, produced in partnership between WPBT2 and the Haitian American Professionals Coalition. As we celebrate Haitian Heritage Month in the U.S. during the month of May, we will discuss the status of the Haitian diaspora in the U.S. With our guest, we look at the past, present, and future of Haitian immigrants, their accomplishments, and the challenges that they face. We welcome Patricia Elise, an immigration attorney and president of Haitian Lawyers Association. For disclosure, I have to mention that the Haitian Lawyers Association is a core member of the Haitian American Professionals Coalition, a co-producer of this program. And Léonie Hermantin, community engagement specialist with Hermantin Consulting, LLC. Hudson Robillard, member of the Florida Institute of Certified Public Accountants and managing director of Hudson Robillard and Company. And Mackenzie Florimont, former North Miami Beach concealment and currently serves on the Charter Review Committee for the City of North Miami Beach. Welcome all to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll address different topics today, but we'll start with a roundtable question. Briefly, few words, can you say what are the biggest challenges and the biggest accomplishment of the Haitian community?
Well, from my perspective, I would say that one of the biggest challenges is the negative stereotypes that our Haitian immigration population has had to face since we started migrating to the U.S., especially South Florida. From the 1960s up into the 1980s, I remember reading about the Florida Health and the U.S. Health Department stating that Haitians were one of the causes of AIDS, for example, or the stereotypes that we get from the immigration policies in the U.S. We're definitely treated differently as Haitian immigrants when it comes to qualifying for asylum or qualifying for other immigration benefits like temporary protective status. So the negative stereotype that has been put on our nationality as Haitians here has been one of the biggest challenges from my perspective.
And Léonie?
I think that I agree with Patricia. I think that the challenges remain access to health care, both caused by structural and cultural issues. But I like to stress the positive. I think that this roundtable indicates to me how far we've come from a community of immigrants, of people who are struggling to settle, to find employment, to these young people here, some of whom are in high school, who are full professionals speaking on behalf of their community. I think that really reflects something that's really important in terms of how we've come and how our insistence of educating our children, of providing the support for our children to excel has resulted in these incredible young people who are now the presumptive leaders of this community.
And Hudson, biggest accomplishment and biggest challenges?
Well, once again, thank you for having me. I want to start by talking directly about some of the economic issues really that the Asian communities have had to face over the years. More directly in terms of challenges, obviously we are hardworking people always looking for work. The employment opportunities remain something that is a challenge for us in terms of where we are concentrating our employment opportunities, the industries that which we worked, and the unemployment rate is quite an issue for us. We are continuing to look for better opportunities when it comes to that. You also looked at income opportunity for the Haitian community in terms of the earning potentials that they have as opposed to the types of jobs that they're currently having, and also looked at, I mentioned earlier, the types of industries in which they worked in. So I think the challenges for quality job and income earning to better raise their children, families remains an issue. And also education. We are seeing that there's sort of a lesser rate of graduation when it comes to education in the Haitian community that continue to be sort of, of an issue, and we hope that can be addressed going forward.
Well,
Mackenzie?
thank you so much for inviting me. I would say, as it relates to politics, we have come quite a long way. Early on in the 80s and the early 90s, we didn't have much representation on any dais in South Florida, let alone in Tallahassee. But as it stands now, we have a chairman of the Miami-Dade County Commission. We have also a majority city council in the city of North Miami. The city of North Miami Beach has seen several Haitians sit on their dais as council people. As it relates to the state legislature, we've had we've had legislators from state representatives, and now we are seeing an opportunity that is presented before us to probably have a state senator. So we've come a long way as it relates to politics as well.
And now let's look at the numbers on the population of Haitians in the U.S. In 1960, 5,000 Haitians. In 1990, 2,000 Haitians. And now in 200,000 Haitians. And in 2012, approximately 915,000 Haitians. This is numbers from the U.S. Census Bureau. And Patricia, we can see that in terms of immigration, there's a lot of progress. But that means all we really know about immigration laws and also about our rights in the U.S.
Well, firstly, the first thing I think we should point out is even though those numbers are reflected from the census, they're also misleading because it's also a guesstimation. The process for the census, there's not really a specific box to pick to put Haitian nationals. So even though that's a good number to have, we estimate the number to be a little bit, higher than the 900,000 that they have in the census.
And if I may add, it's also because Haitians are traditionally a hard-to-count community. And so the numbers are, we know absolutely that they exceed this 900,000 because Haitians are hard to count. There's been a lot of resistance to being counted. There's a gross undercount of the Haitian communities, both in South Florida, and in addition to the fact that there is no specific identification as Haitian, we know that it's been traditionally an undercounted community. And although the community has made great efforts, during census time to really get the word out that it's okay to be counted, we know that there's been a fear since Haiti, the census. So these numbers were probably at over 1 million Haitians here.
But why they are afraid to be counted?
Well, for reasons that Patricia will talk about.
Right, so one of the reasons is because of immigration status, of being undocumented. So when you are here in the U.S. illegally, a lot of people are scared to really come out of the shadows and be counted. They don't necessarily trust the government, and they're afraid of potential immigration consequences of being counted in the census.
And there are issues with household patterns. Sometimes you may be documented, but you have an auntie who lives in the house is undocumented, and so you feel that, oops, if that's going to be identified. Sometimes people have renters in their homes, so you come in and you count yourself, but you don't let the census taker know that you're actually renting a room or an in-laws to somebody, so that person is undercounted. So there are a lot of issues, both cultural and institutional, that make it that we're undercounted as a community.
And according to the Homeland Security Department, as of 2014, they have offered TPS to about 58,000 Haitians, and that is that help with the with our immigration status? That help the community?
Well, firstly, even though 54,000 Haitians have TPS, it was estimated a little bit more than 200,000 qualified for it, but only 54 actually applied and received it. And that's one of the issues that we're facing as a Haitian community is getting misinformation or not getting enough information to the people who actually need it and deserve it. When it comes to how TPS helped our community, yes, it did help. Because now what TPS is temporary protective status. And it's given to nationals of a country that's been designated by the U.S. government because their home country they're not able to go back to their home country either because of a national disaster or internal struggles. A lot of Haitian advocates thought that Haiti and Haitians deserved TPS before the earthquake in 2010. You know, under the presidency of President Obama, I believe it was in the 2000s that we had a couple of hurricanes that passed the nation back to back. It was about 4 of them, and the state of the country we thought deserved the TPS designation.
And this has increased also the number of population of people who are in the labor force and Hudson. And with this, it brought us to the economic status of the community. I know that you have some stats. Can we do quickly on the statistics?
Well, yes, I do have some stats that I wanted to talk about Haitian participation in the labor force. Mainly, I want to kind of like name the source of where this information is coming from, because I think there was a study done and Suntla has something like a profile of the Haitian community that I want to reference because I would
Is it nationally or in Miami-Dade?
And yes, I was going to get to that because this study was basically focused in Miami-Dade County alone, and it sort of encompassed really like the Haitian community. If you can study what's going on in Miami-Dade County about the Haitian community, that would be a good population to study in terms of what may be happening elsewhere.
Which is, I have to mention also the U.S. Census report that Greater Miami has the largest population of Haitian in the U.S.
Correct, correct. And as a result of this study, one of the things that we've noticed is that Haitian was compared to other ethnic groups that are basically living in Miami-Dade County. And one of the things that we notice is that we tend to have sort of a higher rate of unemployment in the Haitian community, and also there's also a higher rate of unemployed individuals. Those are individuals technically that are not really looking for work, so they're deemed unemployed. I kind of wonder sometimes what they're doing, particularly because you have a high unemployment rate, you have a high number of people that are not working, and that's part of the reason also we're tracked as one of the highest poverty rate in the county as well.
And if I may add, and for people who want to know, it's www.santla.org. If you go under publication, you will find this really important piece of documentation. And what this document also reveals is that in addition to the high unemployment rate, there's a large pocket of the population that's really employed in very low income industries.
Correct.
So that really, they're not unemployed, but they're not making livable wages, which, sort of goes into family issues. When a parent has to work 3 jobs, then the children suffer.
And does that affect also the educational attainment?
Well, in a way, yes, because obviously to have better jobs, you need greater knowledge, greater skill sets, greater abilities that you have to show. And the way that you get to this level is by having some sort of high-level training that would probably propel you to better positions at some different organizations or whatnot. And as it relates to that, another point that I kind of want to make as we are basically talking about the Haitian community in that aspect is that when we compare ourselves to other groups, obviously they're doing much better, and there are reasons why they're doing much better. Maybe it's time for us to kind of like look into our own current environment in terms of not just looking for the jobs, but also who are creating the jobs. Are Haitians coming together to partner, to put resources together to create different types of environment where we can eventually start to talk about a bank that is Haitian-owned bank, or we can start to talk about some construction firm that is like a Haitian-owned construction, where again, some that may be paying a better jobs, and those types of industries tend to definitely have better jobs than we otherwise see.
We'll get back to the stats, but I know that you want to add something.
Well, I wanted to piggyback off of the conversation of the economic situation in the Haitian community. What we have also is an opportunity, as you were just stating. We have a lot of micro businesses. In South Florida, small businesses really push our economy. However, in the Haitian community, we have a lot of micro businesses that stay on that level because of lack of opportunity to grow or lack of knowledge to grow. And so I see a great opportunity for chambers of commerces and our leadership to get together and to teach these business owners or to help these business owners to grow and to provide more opportunities for people within the community to have jobs. because when you have a Bravo or a Sedano's in another Latin community, those people are able to find jobs within that community. If you have a supermarket or a business within the Haitian community that is growing, that would also give opportunities for people to find employment as well.
And while you're talking about providing services and keeping the money within the community, that's a big conversation. And we see that we tend to kind of don't look at in the good way the way we conduct business. And Haitians tend to say, I'm not gonna do business with Haitians. And I know attorneys have this challenge. You as an accountant, you have this challenge. How we face as entrepreneurs and how we look at on both ways, the consumer and also the business owner.
I think really this really starts with understanding what quality service is about, or applying better practices or standards in everything we do in our businesses. If we come with a mindset where we want to change our philosophy, our way of thinking in terms of our culture, to kind of say, you know, you set the tone in terms of want to do better for your organizations, and you're going to try to employ every best practices there is, whether it's in human resource management, whether it's in operational management, whether it's in information technology or strategic management, to say, listen, I want to do things differently and I want to document things in a different way, where when you deal with a different organization or a different consumer, that they feel like you give them the respect that they deserve, that you are doing things the right way. In that sense, you will see consumers or customers start to come to your door, because people don't go to places because they like your face. They go to places because they know, one, they're gonna have a service and it's gonna be properly provided, they're gonna be respected, there's quality that you're providing. If we don't focus on improving our quality of services or whatever that we're doing, then I think that's where we can probably start.
And Leonie, we couldn't say what Hudson just described, it's a cultural problem also. Because
well, you know, as someone who goes to Haiti a lot, I see that also improving in Haiti. That in some companies you go and there is that sense that, you know, you have to provide the best, you have to create trust. I mean, we come from a community, and particularly the profile of our population here is made up of people who are very distrustful of sometimes Haitian-led institutions. So, you know, it's really important for businesses to show the respect, because people have been disrespected many times by our own businesses. So it's, and things go by word of mouth. So trust me, when you go to a Haitian business and you're treated with the respect and the professionalism, they will bring you folks, because Haitians are very proud of their own, especially young people who are doing well. There's a lot of pride, and you will find that they will be more than happy to refer their, you know, networks to the Haitian businesses that are doing well.
And so,
yes, Patricia, quickly.
to add to the conversation, in Miami and Broward, we have a lot of successful Haitian business owners. We have a lot of successful doctors, successful lawyers, successful, there's Azure College, bakeries, etc. So we are getting to that level of professionalism within the Haitian culture. However, unlike maybe other communities, I think the next step for us is to bring in corporate America into the Haitian community, into the Haitian businesses. Because if you go within the Latin community, you see Publix, you see all of the major corporation investing in advertisement and investing in those communities. However, for Haitian-owned businesses, I don't remember the last time I opened up a Haitian paper or turned on the Haitian radio or turned on a Haitian TV and I saw a Publix ad or an advertisement for a corporation from corporate America.
And we're talking about the money, Mackenzie. We know that in politics, money plays a big role. And since 1993, since Philippe Desroses was elected as the councilman of El Portal, there's over 40 elected Haitian Americans who have served on an elected position.
Correct.
So, is that make a betterment for the community in terms of laws or in terms of public services for the community, for betterment for our population?
I think definitely government plays a hand in the success of any community. I I heard a quote the other day that says, democracy is a terrible form of government, except for every other form of government. So it's very important that government plays a role in where we are going. Now, as far as it relates to our community and people who we have in office and how that's contributing to the success of our community, I think it has tremendously. It's creating an environment where businesses can flourish, where information is trickling down, where the state is recognizing our community and is opening up a few more doors so that we can be able to get funding for businesses. However, I think that the opportunity that lies is for cohesiveness, because there is state and local level politics that need to be cohesive so that when something is happening on a state level, it's known that it's happening on a local level, and our constituency can know what those programs are and can participate in those programs. At this point, I believe that from even the White House down to the local level, there's some sort, or we have some representation. On a local level, like we said earlier, we have the county commission, we have also city councils, and we're looking at state legislature. And when we get to the White House, we had an advisor there, and we have also other people that are placed in the White House as well. So
having Haitian American representatives sitting on the seat, is that enough to bring some more public services and more opportunities to the Haitian community? We know you are very good advocate on civic engagement, yes. Leonie, and how we see, because we tend to be very motivated to push someone into a position, elected position, and then after that we go back to our business.
Well, as the elder person, there's a young person who wants to speak. I will let him.
Come on.
I will let him speak, and then I'll add something.
What I was going to say about this is that technically anything you want to do really takes leadership. Mm-hmm. And leadership is really about seeing the vision in terms of what needs to be done and finding out the resources wherever they are and how best to bring them together. And having representation at all these various levels is extremely important, really, to A, represent our values, and B, find a way not only to just be there and represent, but also bring the resources that you feel are really necessary in order to make things happen. Because it really takes exchanges. Economic exchanges needs to be happening within our own level. We're talking about how we can build this community as it relates to these individuals being there. If they were to provide the leadership to say, hey, we understand we do not have certain industry that we represent well in, or when you look at the total expenditures of Haitians within the community, what percentage of that expenditure go to actual Haitian businesses? If it's less than 50%, we have a problem, because that is not.
But the leadership, Haitian, the constituency also needs to understand that these Haitian elected officials are not just there to represent Haitians.
Correct. Good point.
They're there to represent a city, constituents at large, and that our responsibility and the focus of our vision as Haitians continues. We have to continue to engage our elected officials as leaders, not as Haitians. They are more sensitive to our issues because they're from our community. But we also need to not put their walls against the wall, their backs against the wall, saying, well, you're Haitian, you have to side with us. They are there to represent a full constituency.
There's a lot to cover, but I just want to go back to, which is a very important point, it's education. Mm-hmm. Education play a key role, and in different conversation or different topics or issues, we will see that education play a big role. How we are educated about the laws of the land and issues like fraud, because the U.S. Attorney's Office reported that there's a very high level of fraud, corruption, mm-hmm. Fraud in the Haitian community in terms of immigration, in terms of taxes, and how this affect the community. Very short, Patricia.
Sure. So the Haitian community gets a lot of their education through the radios. And on the radios, you have a lot of these businesses. They're not professionals. They do not have licenses. They do not have the proper training to be able to file properly an immigration application, to file your taxes, to help you with a divorce case, to help you with any legal matter. But they're on the radio and they are giving out information, and they're trying to get people to come to them with lower prices.
Before you finish, just for the viewers, I have to mention, you said that they are on radio, they pay the airtime.
Correct.
to
Exactly.
be on radio.
They're paid.
And the fact that they pay the air time, that doesn't mean they provide the right information to the community. And so how, and just to end the conversation quickly, roundtable question, how we can educate our community for to move forward our agenda and for the betterment of Haitian in the U.S.
I think that we have to continue doing what we do. The professionals do a very good job. They all have, many of them have access to the media, and they should continue to educate.
Speaking from a political perspective, we have to do constituency meetings. We have to continue staying involved in making sure that the constituents know what's going on, and they have to hold us accountable as well, because the squeaky wheel is going to get the oil.
Well, you mentioned tax fraud earlier. Your tax report is one of the most important financial report that you have. And it impacts you at so many levels, whether you're doing a mortgage, especially if you're self-employment, whatever else you're doing, you have to make sure immigration, you have to make sure all the dots are crossed and done properly. If you find people that are giving you so much misinformation and a lot of Haitians are following for that, they're doing it because that's what they hear. So we have to do a better job, do shows like this and others to educate them what the proper way is.
And this is not the last time we have you on the program. Patricia, thanks again.
Sure. Finally, just to keep empowering the community so they know it's okay to ask for the proper help.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Thank you all. I'm Farah. Thanks for watching. Hello, I'm Farah and welcome to Haiti Journal. Haiti Journal is a monthly public affairs program covering current issues facing the Haitian American community in the U.S. and abroad, produced in partnership between WPBT2 and the Haitian American Professionals Coalition. As we celebrate Haitian Heritage Month in the U.S. during the month of May, we will discuss the status of the Haitian diaspora in the U.S. With our guest, we look at the past, present, and future of Haitian immigrants, their accomplishments, and the challenges that they face. We welcome.
I think that I agree with Patricia. I think that the challenges remain access to health care, both caused by structural and cultural issues. But I like to stress the positive. I think that this round table indicates to me how far we've come from a community of immigrants, of people who are struggling to settle, to find employment, to these young people here, some of whom are in high school, who are full professionals speaking on behalf of their community. I think that really reflects something that's really important in terms of how we've come.
Patricia Elise, an immigration attorney and president of Haitian Lawyers Association. For disclosure, I have to mention that the Haitian Lawyers Association is a core member of the Haitian American Professionals Coalition, a co-producer of this program. And Léonie Hermantin, community engagement specialist with Hermantin Consulting, LLC. Hudson Robillard, member of the Florida Institute of Certified Public Accountants and managing director of Hudson Robillard and Company. And Mackenzie Florimont, former North Miami.
The U.S., especially South Florida. From the 1960s up into the 1980s, I remember reading about the Florida Health and the U.S. Health Department stating that Haitians were one of the causes of AIDS, for example, or the stereotypes that we get from the immigration policies in the U.S. We're definitely treated differently as Haitian immigrants when it comes to qualifying for asylum or qualifying for other immigration benefits like temporary protective status. So the negative stereotype that has been put on our nationality as Haitians here has been one of the biggest challenges from my perspective.
And Léonie? Beach concealment and currently serves on the Charter Review Committee for the City of North Miami Beach. Welcome all to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll address different topics today, but we'll start with a roundtable question. Briefly, few words, can you say what are the biggest challenges and the biggest accomplishment of the Haitian community?
Well, from my perspective, I would say that one of the biggest challenges is the negative stereotypes that our Haitian immigration population has had to face since we started migrating to